Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I am going to be reacting to some old-fashioned vintage train movies and videos. Most of them are black and white, but not all of them. So yeah, hope you enjoy, hope you enjoy, and yeah, let's get into it. So, vintage railroad videos. So, railroad implies that this might be in the States. It probably is. Oh, perfect. There's some more down here. That's just perfect. Oh, wait, it's DC Talk. Yeah, I love them. I love that song. So it says railroading in the East from 1897 to 1906. Huh. Um, I'm not gonna like try to here. How am I gonna do this? Because like I want to try to like fit a bunch of them in, but not do like the whole of all the videos. I guess is what I'm saying. But like, um, here, you know what? I'll make a playlist and I'll make it public and put it on the channel. I'll put there all the videos that I find. I'll put them there, and then you can watch them as you please. So I guess it's really just like a way, if you like black and white vintage films and you also like trains, this is a way to, watch them and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can do that. Alright, let's see this one. Again, I'm not showing all of it, but ooh.
These historic 35mm paper positives, copied in April 1959, are the original copyright registration copies filed with the Library of Congress by the Edison and Biograph production companies in the years 1897 to 1906.
Where are they talking about? The trains?
Here is the Philadelphia Express on the Jersey Central line,
Ooh.
photographed by the Edison Company in 1897.
Close there.
Near the close of the scene, watch for a Pennsylvania local that pulls onto the bridge above the Jersey Central.
Ooh. Wow, this is like really vintage. Where did he get this stuff actually?
Here we see workers for the Lehigh Valley Railroad repairing track as the Black Diamond Express comes racing toward them. Watch the supervisors of the railroad workers waving white flags to alert the oncoming locomotive of the men working on the track. The film was shot by the Edison Company.
Okay, y'all need to like seriously move. Seriously, you like move now. Go. Wow. Wait, I think that was one of them camel locomotives, like with the cab that's in the middle of the engine instead of in the back.
This film was photographed at Kingston, New York on the West Shore Railroad by the Biograph Production Company in 1906.
1906? Wow. Wait, they didn't have film back then, did they?
The film was taken from the engineer's point of view on an Ulster and Delaware locomotive near the Kingston Union Station.
Huh. I can figure out when I need to stop this. This is really interesting.
Watch for the men at the road crossings waving white flags to alert automobiles to the passing train.
Oh, so that back when they didn't have the things, so back when they didn't have the railroad crossing, like gate things, arm things that come down to block the cars. Back then they just had a guy waving a white flag. That sounds kind of dangerous, actually. Alright, so this one, instead of being an American thing, it's British instead. Yeah, it's on British Road, BR instead. Oh, I forget the name of that class. Bunch of numbers that I can't remember. think that was an LMS. May have been in one of them coronation classes that didn't have streamlining. Ooh, no one's carrying tankers. Here comes that engine from the beginning. Is it getting a train? Probably, I get the feeling this is like when all the railways were unified into VR, so I think, because it doesn't look like, I can't really tell if it's black and white, but like, it doesn't look like they have their, yeah, CVR right there. Oh, he's a banker! Oh, that's awesome! Oh, that's cool. He's like Edward. It's a tank engine. It's cool. Yeah, it looks like a fairly steep hill. It's not as steep as Gordon's Hill, but it's definitely a hill. Ugh, coming down with a cold or something. Hope y'all are getting able to hear this. Change that. Wait, we've left that intersection from earlier. Alright. Sorry, I just got mad. Golly. Ooh! Yeah, that looks like a coronation class. Yeah, VR coordination class. Or it could be a Britannia. I don't think it's that, though. Uh-oh. This is definitely somewhere in the 60s. 50s. 60s. Uh-oh, diesels. Uh-oh, are they being hauled to the scrap yard? They don't look that way. Oh, it's a 9F. That's a Black 5. That's a 9F there. Are these engines being hauled for scrap? There's another 9F. They better not be. Okay, so this is one I personally like and that I've already seen and stuff. So let me pull that down. So this is I've watched this before. It's really interesting. It gives you a bunch of it's really kind of a documentary of a bunch of different locomotive types from the New York and Central Railroad. and I think it's really interesting. It's actually, I forgot it's got color in it, but it is a vintage. So I guess I'll put vintage train movies or videos in the title of the video because they're not all black and white. My bad. Sorry, but it's
already
really
committed
interesting.
to diesel power. They ordered it scrapped with less than 5 years operation.
Oh.
The next 3 run pasts are the Pacemaker, the Advanced Commodore Vanderbilt, and the Chicagoan. When Keefer took over as chief engineer in 1926, the Pacific-type locomotives on which the New York Central had relied for so long were no longer able to shoulder the load. Mainline trains operated in several sections because the Pacific could handle a maximum of 12 cars. Keefer's answer was the Class J1 Hudson. Their steaming power was immense. They could hit 75 miles an hour with a 26-car train with ease. With 15 heavyweight Pullmans, they could hold 100 miles an hour continuously on level track.
Dear Lord, seriously?
Their introduction permitted sharp reduction in both costs and running times. The 20th century went to an 18-hour schedule, New York to Chicago. Many extra sections were eliminated. Between 1927 and 1937, some 275 Hudsons were built. Later models had centipede tenders. These 14-wheel monsters had the largest coal capacity in the world, 46 tons.
Oh,
Between New York and Chicago or St. Louis, only a single refueling stop was required. The last 50, Class J3A, built in 1937, were called Super Hudsons. Between 1938 and 1948, these were the locomotives that carried the famous Henry Dreyfuss streamlined shroud. All engine and tender wheels had roller bearings. 25 had the box-pock style drivers, and 25 had skull and disc drivers. The engine was designed for 275 pounds boiler pressure, but this was so high it actually bent the side rods, and pressure had to be reduced to 265. A number of design changes, bigger combustion chambers and so forth, added up to an engine with a smaller boiler, one which used 15% less coal and water, yet an engine with a 20% increase in horsepower. Permissible speeds rose to 120 miles an hour. The schedule of the century was cut to just 16 hours. Between Toledo and Elkhart, the timetable called for an average of 74 miles an hour. Passenger trains behind time sometimes averaged better than 90 miles an hour on this 133-mile stretch. A 482 wheel arrangement is generally referred to as a mountain-type engine. On the billiard flat water level route of the New York Central, such a term was an anathema. The Central called their 482s Mohawks. They built some 600 of them. The first more than 10 years before the arrival of the Hudson. It wasn't until the late 20s that the need for improvement was felt. Mohawks were intended for fast freight and passenger service. And indeed, they served admirably in heavy freight service. When it came to fast passenger, however, they proved unstable. Poor balance of the reciprocating gear forced the Central to limit them to 60 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
Keefer went to work to produce the Central's first true dual-service locomotive. Drivers went from 69 to 72 inches. Boiler pressure from 225 to 250 pounds. Horsepower from 4,200 to 5,200. Box-pock drivers were specified, and some engines got roller bearings. The end result was a smooth-running locomotive that could make 80 miles an hour with the Century on the way out.
All right, so yeah, definitely watch that. It's really good. Yeah, it's a bit of a long one, but it's definitely a really good one for sure. I'd really recommend it. Do try to find the time to sit down and watch this. It's really good. Okay, so for this next one, I am I really like this. I've seen it before. It's really awesome. It's about the Coronation Scot, as you can tell in the title. It's a black and white film from 1937. It's really, really cool, and so, um, I, I actually watched this like years and years and years ago, back when I was like in elementary school, I think, but it was like forever ago. And I was like, I really liked it. And then years and years later, like maybe la- when I was like 13, maybe, like I just remembered about it, and I was like, oh, I need to like find that on YouTube and watch it. So I searched up Coronation documentary video steam engine, something like that. And then I found this, and this was the right one. What I remembered it by was this one shot from above. I think it was taken on an airplane or something. It was the train like going really fast on like some countryside, and the plane or whatever was keeping up with it. It was really cool. So yeah. I guess I'll go ahead and get started. Oh, that's a crisis right there. I love
that. 1937, the year of the crowning of their Majesties King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, stands out as the most memorable in our lives. The peoples of Great Britain, of our dominions, colonies, and lands over the seas, have been stirred to a new sense of loyalty to the throne and to the mother country. It is fitting that the London, Midland and Scottish Railway, the largest commercial undertaking not only in the Empire but in the world, should pay its tribute, make its gesture of loyalty and commemoration of this historic event. And so, while London streets were thronged with enthusiastic crowds, there was being completed at Crewe a series of 5 new locomotives of a secret and entirely new design, destined to make railway history.
This is like by far one of my favorites. Same with the water route video with the NYC. I love the montage in it as well. But I think my favorite part is when the train is actually going along. But this is definitely like, because I'm always having videos like, let me pause it. I'm always having videos that I watched on YouTube like years and years ago coming back to me randomly years and years later, and I was just like, if they're typical, back then I was like, you know, I was into fewer things, and it was mostly just trains. So like when this happened, like or here when like, because I genuinely randomly sometimes just have these videos like come back to me from years and years and years ago, and then I just randomly somehow find them, and sometimes they're not even about trains, they're just about something else. It's just it's kind of weird actually how my brain works. Yeah, I don't think the Coronation class was as fast as the Mallard, but it came pretty close, I'd say. Definitely came close. Oh, this reminds me of that one chase scene from Aliens. That was hilarious. The coronation itself. Y'all got this. Okay, here, this is really cool and all, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead to when like it's when they're driving. Here, actually, I'll start here. This was also really iconic part of the video that I remember.
Blue and and silver streamlined engines of the Princess Coronation class were produced to haul new trains, the Coronation Scots. Beginning with the summer services on July 5th, these trains were scheduled to complete the 400-mile journeys between Euston and Glasgow and in the reverse direction in 6.5 hours. Blue and silver coaches, constructed at the Wolverton works of the LMS, complete what are claimed to be the finest trains in the world.
Yeah.
This, then, was the contribution of the London, Midland and Scottish Railway to this great coronation year. A contribution that gives daily service to the nation, a tangible, living contribution, exemplifying the spirit of the age.
Man, what I would give to have lived back then to like go on a train like that. It would be stupid expensive, but like it would be awesome.
Yes. For this remarkable feat, driver Tom Clark was awarded the Medal of the Order of the British Empire in the Coronation Honours. These runs provided invaluable data in regard to the design of the locomotive, the maintenance of the track, and the riding of the coaches. And on this information, the designs and schedules for the Coronation Scots were based.
Yep, there we go. Okay. Let's skip ahead.
1937, in addition to being Coronation Year, also marks the centenary of the opening of the first portion of the London and Birmingham Railway, including Euston Station, the LMS headquarters.
So they did
100 years of progress. Here you see a practical demonstration, specially arranged for this newsreel, of the advance that has taken place in the design of engines since the first railway came to London.
Yep.
On the left is the locomotive Lion, 100 years old and still going, if not strong, at least going. Next is the engine Coronation, built in 1911 at Crewe and named to commemorate the coronation of King George V. And lastly, Coronation, blue and silver streamlined product of 1937.
That is awesome.
Huge and massive, dwarfing her predecessors in both looks and performance. Built for power, built for speed, a veritable king of locomotives. On June 29th, after a careful running in, the engine Coronation, hauling the Coronation Scot train, was allowed to show her paces. She was in charge of driver Tom Clark and fireman Lewis. 100 journalists and railway officials took part in a test run from Euston to Crewe and back that provided such an orgy of speed as has never before been indulged in over LMS metals. Until nearing Crewe in the down direction, the running, though excellent...
I think that's all I'm going to show because I showed like at least most of the video because I just love that. Actually, I was considering to just do this video, make it 8 minutes, about 8 to 9 minutes. I think it would be better to because this is really one that I want y'all to enjoy. This is because I'm trying to find all these so I can make a playlist, as I said at the beginning of the video, so that y'all can watch some of these as well and enjoy them yourselves. I haven't seen all these 100%, but I have seen 2 of these that, as I said. So yeah, I'm gonna do this one now. Alright, this one has an A4 in it, so that's why I clicked on it. Alright. Hey, is that an SR? Is that a real engine? This one's fairly long as well.
Summer is singing in streets again, and summertime's travels have now begun. The cuckoo sings of the burnished grain, and long journeys gilded by the sun.
We soon have the holiday passenger traffic with us. But between us, I think we can deal with all their...
The superintendent of operating speaks in the ears of his timetable brains, who sit in their offices calculating how to fit in fast summertime trains. Cudgel your brains for summertime trains. Draw in a train for the passengers waiting to hear cuckoos singing a Highland fling. Draw in a line for a non-stop to Edinburgh over the Tyne. And so the new service comes into its hour. The morning is June, the weather is fine. At King's Cross Depot of Motive Power, the drivers come in to sign on the line.
Bob Marable, top-link train driver, who's always a punctual arriver, wears boots, footplate size, has colour light eyes, and engine oil in his saliva. Rolly Ruffle, his mate in the team, often sprays out his tonsils with steam and treats gravel rashes by damping down ashes and using the paste like Cold Cream.
The 9:30 non-stop train to Edinburgh, the Elizabethan, will leave from platform 5. Passengers for Dundee and Aberdeen travel in the front of the train.
At King's Cross, the coaches are filling with passengers. Porters are willing to carry their cases and find them their places for a tenner or even a shilling.
The Elizabethan will leave from platform 5. Passengers for Dundee.
Like a general gathering forces, the chef's checking up his resources. All the pains in your belt Mr. Wheeler can melt and roll your eyes round with his sauces.
Oh, it's Silver Fox! No way! That's what? I did not expect that. Okay.
The Elizabethan, the 9:30 non-stop to Edinburgh at platform 5, is about to leave. Will passengers please join the train?
Though the guard may look calm and laconic, his obsession with time is quite chronic. But a punctual start binds the train to his heart. The relationship's purely platonic.
At platform 5, the Elizabethan, a special express of the holiday season, summons its strength. And the time to depart marks an ending for some, but for many, a start.
I'm gonna stop there. So, I think that's gonna be the last one. I hope y'all enjoyed this little thing, me reacting to. Here, first, let me say my opinion on this. Sorry, my brain's ahead of what I'm trying to do. So, yeah, it was a really interesting start. It, like, I think the narration, like, made it more suspenseful for when the train was gonna, get going. So I liked that. And I've never heard of the Elizabethan. I think that's how they said it. So I've never heard of that, but that I'm sure. In fact, I'm probably gonna have to sit down and watch that myself. In fact, I'll probably sit down and watch all of these at some point. Since I have a playlist of all of them, I can, yeah. Of all these, so yeah. Yeah. If y'all enjoyed that, I encourage. If you enjoy, I guess this is kind of like a preview for all of these, really, except for the coronation. I kind of spoiled the whole thing. But y'all can go watch all of it, and enjoy it for yourselves. And yeah, and I'll make a playlist of it. So yeah, I'm just gonna put the title as "Reacting to Vintage Train Films." So, because not all but one video is black and white. So yeah. But yeah. So I'll have the playlist. I'm gonna. I'll have to think about it later. But like, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you have a good day. And yeah. Bye.